Chiefs Kingdom ACU crew, welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another live podcast for that ass. The Chiefs have made some moves today, restructuring some contracts, put some people on IR just yesterday. We're going to talk about all that. But first, let's talk about our sponsor of today's episode. Today, Foco giving away they're not giving it away. You got to go check it out. DeAndre Hopkins Next Stop bobblehead. This is a limited edition on DeAndre Hopkins bobblehead. They're only going to do 96 of these. It says, welcome him to the kingdom in style with the official licensed DeAndre Hopkins Kansas City Chiefs Next Stop bobblehead. The newest Chief is coming to your collection. Get ready to upgrade your roster and prepare for a new addition to the Chiefs collection, Superstar Face. The bobblehead is limited to 96 unit, and it does retail for $80, but it stands 8 inches tall. So if you collect bobbleheads, if you got a little Foco thing going, go over there and get that DeAndre Hopkins bobblehead, Steve. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. We may get one of those and give it away on the channel too, by the way.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Hope you guys are doing okay today. Appreciate you joining us. A little impromptu live midday. We'll also be doing our members only live stream later tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be on the lookout for that. I'll get that posted when we're off here now. But yeah, Mike, a lot of stuff went on this week. Obviously, the signing of the trade for DeAndre Hopkins for a 4th round pick, I suppose. Conditionally. So a pretty good trade for the Chiefs. They needed to fill a hole at the wide receiver position. He came in. He's getting acclimated now. He had some choice words to say about the Tennessee Titans here and there, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then they put Skyy Moore on the IR out of the blue. You know, he just randomly got hurt playing PS5, I suppose. So
yeah,
that core muscle's killing him. He had to go on the IR.
Obliques, I guess. They said he's got some muscle problems. It's these muscles right here. That's his problems. They didn't want to come out and say it, but that's it. They put him on the IR yesterday. I'm sure everybody's heard the news, but we'll kind of speculate a little bit later what they're going to do. Are they going to bring up maybe Justin Ross? They're going to bring up a Nico Remigio. What's going on? We also had James Palmer yesterday say that the Chiefs were done making wide receiver moves. If they make another move, it could be a different position. A lot of people are debating that back and forth. Just today, Phil Yates comes out and tweets this earlier. With cap space tight after the DeAndre Hopkins trade, the Chiefs restructured the contract of Jawaan Taylor by converting salary into a signing bonus, creating $5.3 million in the 2024. So short term, Steve, $5.3 million. It sounds okay. Look, first and foremost, Jawaan Taylor he gets to suck, and then it's like, hey, take some money. Take some money here. Just take this. And pretty much that guarantees that Jawaan Taylor will not only be here the rest of this year, but he's going to be here next year too. That pretty much guarantees that he's here next year and there's no getting rid of him. They may step out at the 2026 mark when they have the opening. We had talked about this between 25 and 26. They've got a little bit of an opening there. But he's here for the next year, the rest of this year. So everybody wanting a new right tackle or to swing somebody to right tackle, bitching Jawaan Taylor, don't really see that happening. I think he's part of the future. Does it go beyond 2 years or 1 year? I don't know. But what do you think they're freeing up this room for, Steve? Do you think it's just for emergency purposes, just to keep some cap space, or do you think they're targeting somebody else?
Well, I think it just keeps the options open, right? So, yeah, they could add another wide receiver. It wouldn't hurt. They could also look at some other positions like cornerback, edge rusher. I mean, there's a lot of different things they could be looking at. I know there's some rumors thrown out there about Zadarius Smith. They said there's a connection with Joe Cullen, and they said there's also a connection with Chris Jones, where he was trying to get him to go to the University of Kentucky. Instead, obviously, he went to Mississippi State. But, yeah, so he's got some connections. People have been kind of pointing in that direction. Obviously, the cornerback position's a little thin. Not really thin, but it's not as good at the top as it was with Jalen Watson being out for a while. So that's up in the air. Najee Johnson and Joshua Williams are going to have to pick up the slack there. But they could add another piece of veteran guy. Who knows? There's lots of different things they could do. So I just think that this is pretty much – it's like a given thing. We've been talking about it all year. They're probably going to restructure Jawaan Taylor and free up some cap space. So yeah. I think it's just like the next thing that needed to get done. So they got it done. And now if they see something before the trade deadline and they can make a move, they will. They can.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it was just to free up some stuff and see what Brett Veach can pull off. A lot of people are wanting corner, Steve. Do you think corner is such a big deal? I think this week you're going to get to see a lot of Najee Johnson. I think they're already bringing up Keith Taylor. He looked pretty good in the preseason. He had a few games, a few snaps within the games that didn't look so good. But he ended up getting a pick versus Detroit in the preseason. We've got Josh Williams. He does a lot of special teams work. The dude is one of the highest rated corners in all of football in the playoffs. So we know he's capable. I think it's one of those things where you don't get to play a lot and you just get relegated to special teams or here or here or here. It doesn't matter. But when you're not playing a lot, you fall out of rhythm a little bit. So I believe once they get back in and get in a rhythm, I think they're going to be completely fine. To me, I don't think that you go out and take any portion of cap space or any little bit of salary we have available to pay people and go out and give it to an aging Patrick Peterson or something like that. To me, it makes no sense.
No. I don't think that's going to happen. So, I mean, I could be wrong. We've been wrong before, but I don't see that happening.
I think Brett Veach is on the phone with him right now.
Well, yeah, possibly. But, I mean, I think he's going to rely on the youth. That's what Brett Veach normally tends to do. I think the cornerback room, the defensive backs as a whole are in good shape. I mean, they're pretty deep. Yeah, there's not that obvious guy you could throw in there. Like Najee Johnson's played well at times. He's played bad at times. Same with Joshua Williams. But there's also some younger guys back there too. And, I mean, Chamari Connor can even potentially try to take that spot. I don't know if he could, but I think he could potentially go to that cornerback position. I don't know, man. I think they have options there. And I don't know. Is that the most pressing need the team has right now? I mean, I'm not like arguing that it would be a good thing if we had another solid corner. So, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they went and made a move for it, but I just don't see it happening.
Well, I feel like you said, Chamari Connor, he could come up and he could play the slot. We know he can play the nickel pretty well. He could probably go out and play serviceable snaps on the outside if you needed him to. Now, he may get burned once or twice or whatever, but that's going to happen. That just happens. People that act like, well, Najee got burned the other day, he's toast. Josh Williams got burned in week 1, he's out of here. Like, do you not think every corner gets burned? Like, Deion Sanders was burned thousands of times, okay?
Yeah, it happens.
Jalen Ramsey is burned every other week.
It happens, man.
It's just something that happens.
Especially some of the younger guys like Najee Johnson, Joshua Williams. They'll get caught slipping just a little bit here and there. But a good like professional quarterback and wide receiver will take advantage of the young guys sometimes. That's just part of it. That's just how it is.
Zero. Chris Rowland Wallace come in and actually got a pick. He can play that nickel. Right. He could probably play on the outside too. I think Spags even mentioned that yesterday. Spags said that he probably could get there, like not immediately, but he could maybe get out there. So I think they've got enough bodies that's not a problem. The corner, to me, if you're going to go out and trade something that's not a wide receiver, I think you beef up the pass rush because Mike Dana is just flirting with the stupid injury report every week. He's not played a few weeks. I think you got to go beef that up in preparation to try to get Omenihu back because Omenihu's not coming back within the next probably 2 to 3 weeks minimum. So, I mean, let's go get somebody. And even when he comes back, you still don't know how he's going to come back and be able to perform. Right. I don't know if he comes back at a high level, like right off the rip.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I'll tell you what my ideal outcome would be. Right after I shout out Ron, been a member for 9 months now. Appreciate you, buddy. And then Chief Kelsey in the house, been a member for 14 months, has finally caught alive. More D-Hop videos coming. Hey, Chief Kelsey, we got like a whole rest of the season to have D-Hop videos. Hopefully they're good ones. Hopefully they're good ones. But yeah, appreciate you guys being here. Do us a favor, hit the like button if you haven't already. It just takes a second, helps get this out to more people. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're a Chiefs fan, what the hell are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, hang out with us more often. You're going to get all the Chiefs content you can get right here at All Chiefed Up. Also, if you're watching on X, be sure to repost this out to your followers, get the word out. Also on Facebook, you can share that as well. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, Mike, so I think my ideal situation here would be, well, Deontay Johnson's sitting this week. They think they've 100% been traded. We know Brett Veach has ties to Carolina with old Big Head that used to be his assistant, is working over there now as what, a GM or something.
Yeah, he's something over there.
So, I mean, like, there are connections there. I'm all for beefing up the defense, like the edge rusher, like you said. But at the same time, like, I feel like you have Omenihu coming back in a month. Also, they haven't been that bad. Our defense has been, like, the highlight of our team this year. So yeah, you could look at the corner position, you could look at edge rusher, but to me, it's like, do you just go ahead and swing the freaking haymaker and bring Deontay Johnson in here with DeAndre Hopkins? I don't know, but I think that would be pretty sweet because if we could get this offense rolling and putting up 30 plus a game, the NFL's in trouble because our defense is legit.
Right. Well, going back to what you said, Tom Pelissero reported just a little while ago that the Panthers have already ruled Deontay Johnson out for this week. They said he's got a rib.
Yeah,
A
sure.
rib injury. Does he or does he not? I don't know. I would think if he's got traded, it would have already been announced. But could they be talking about it, hammering out some final aspects to the trade, some details? That's possible. Then he's not going to do whatever. But look, Deontay Johnson's not going to be able to be, even if he came, he's not going to contribute this week. It's too late in the week. It doesn't matter.
We don't need him this week. We're playing the crappy old Raiders.
Right, and I honestly I don't know if they need another wide receiver.
They don't.
I don't know if the Chiefs need another wide receiver.
They don't, but sometimes you just do it anyway. I don't need Mexican food 5 days a week, but sometimes I do that.
But I'll eat it.
You know what I'm saying?
It.
Yeah, I mean you'll do if it's there. You're not gonna say no. TGZ with the 2 bombs says, Mike, look out. The Scream Dude is coming for you. Ghostface is right behind you, brother. You better watch out.
I got Ghostface. I got Sam from Trick or Treat back here.
It's officially spooky season at the Wilkins household.
It's spooky season, even though it's 82 degrees outside today.
Yeah, I'm not digging it at all.
It won't quit.
I hate it so much. I just want all the bugs to die.
Steve, we've got to get our first freeze of the year so that all the allergies die out. It's killing me. We've got to get all these bugs out of here.
I'm not having it.
Like, let's get a freeze going.
October isn't Octobering like it usually does.
Steve, it's not even rained a single drop in Kentucky in October. We've had 0 rain this year. The first rain chance they're giving us, Halloween night.
Baby.
So that way no kids can trick or treat.
Reggie with the 5 bomb says, if you look at the high assets we have left, if we make a move, it won't be for a depth piece. If it's wide receiver, I'm calling it now for Deontay Johnson. I'm kind of right there with you. Like, what do you think, Mike? So I think what Reggie's saying is kind of the same thing I think is there's no point in adding another wide receiver now that's just depth piece or somebody that can't contribute at all. We don't need another Justin Watson. We don't need another McCole Hardman. We don't need another mid guy. So, I mean, I think if they go do something with wide receiver, they're going to make it a good one, right?
Right. Well, okay, so DeAndre Hopkins is in the bag. He's here. We know, per Andy Reid, that he's going to do the Rashee Rice role. Like, that's what he's going to do. We still don't have that Hollywood Brown guy. I think Deontay Johnson could kind of do that. But, again, at the end of the day, do you want to go in? We're now 7 going on to the 8th week of the season. Is it too late to bring all these guys in and have like a great a meshing, if you will, comfortability? We always hear that with Patrick. He's got to get comfortable. He don't trust this guy. He don't trust that guy. We got to have comfort. It's so hard to learn this system. Andy don't even want to get a guy that'll do it.
That's a legit concern, right?
So you want to bring these guys in and maybe it throws chemistry off a little bit and then you struggle for 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know if you want that.
Is it really going to throw any chemistry off? Because let's be honest, there's nothing out there right now. Like, I mean, literally,
look, I
what
like Deontay
chemistry
Johnson,
is
and I've
there?
called for him. But Deontay Johnson, if he ain't getting the ball just
He's a bit
right,
of a diva.
He's gonna let you know. D-Hop's been known to do that as well. You start getting away from what the Chiefs are and start bringing in some big names that bring a little baggage with them.
Right, I understand that.
And you
concern.
may disrupt the chemistry just a tad bit.
Or you might have guys come in and realize that, hey, you're not,
if they come in and buy in, cool.
Right. I mean, like, that's the thing about it. Like, some of these guys with these kind of attitudes, they've been playing on crap hole teams with nothing to play for. They literally have nothing to do except pad their own stats. So, I mean, maybe you get them in a winning culture with a good locker room. When they come in and they see people like Patrick Mahomes, the face of the NFL, or Travis Kelce, the most famous guy in the league, or people like that buying into the system, Chris Jones, whoever it might be, maybe they fall in line a little bit and just go with the flow, man. They want to win a ring, right? Like, if people come to Kansas City, that's what they're expecting to do, is win a freaking Lombardi.
That's what all these guys say. That's what all these guys say. But the first time you flash them a little bit more money, they go to it.
That's fine, but this is not a situation where they can just go take more money. They're
No,
not
but
free agents.
But you don't have to buy in, completely, because at the end of the year, they probably will be.
That's fine too. But while you're here, why wouldn't you want to win a Super Bowl ring? That's only
I
going
just
to up your value.
Look, I just think it's funny that everybody's like, oh, championships. I want to go to a winning culture. And then you even had reports the other day after the game the other night with the Saints and the Broncos, and they're like, Kamara told Sean Payton to come get him. And then a day later, he announces he takes a $25 million restructure.
Right.
All you got to do is throw money at these guys, and they'll shut up and fall in line. Like, that's the way it works around here. Like, they all talk a big game, and they all just want money.
100%. But like I said, we're not in that situation. They're not free agents. I mean, I'm pretty sure Deontay Johnson, he's a bit of a diva, right? But, I mean, if you're over there in Carolina getting your ass whipped every week and you're not really doing a whole lot anyway, you've had a couple good weeks there. But you got Andy Dalton throwing you the freaking ball.
Oh, I totally agree. Like, I would come over here and shut my mouth and be happy.
I think that would be a thing.
But we don't know that's always going to happen.
But you also know Andy can deal with these types of players too. And I imagine if they were to trade for Deontay Johnson and he were to be a diva, he would just get his ass planted firmly on the bench. Like, fine, go shut up.
Right, but can you afford to lose more draft capital
I don't know. I mean, honestly,
what do you think it feasibly? What do you think Brett Veach would have to give up to get a Deontay Johnson?
Look, this could be
You're out of your 4th round pick.
This could
already.
be a hot take. This could be a total hot take. But I think draft capital is overrated. Like 110% overrated.
Not when you got Mahomes and you've got to keep building stuff on the cheap. This is how we built our entire defense.
Listen, even at Brett Veach's rate of hits on draft picks, you're still only hitting 25% if you're lucky. Like, you're going to draft 3 turds for each decent one no matter what. So,
I mean, get that, but there's been drafts where he hasn't done that.
So we got a 5th rounder gone. You got 2 third rounders already. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think you should go out and trade all your draft picks away like a bunch of slap nuts. I'm not saying that. But, like, just a pick here or there?
Veach also likes to put half of our roster on a year-to-year contract. So you've got to fill all these contracts every single season.
Yeah, I understand that, too.
Well, like I said, our defense is completely built off draft picks right now.
Right. Got a new member, Warpaint. Appreciate you. Love the name, by the way. Miss Warpaint.
Appreciate you, man.
One of my favorite things ever, hold on, before we go on, one of my favorite things ever was Eric Berry's relationship with Warpaint.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, I was just going to say, he became a member, and you too can become a member, by the way. Join allchiefdup.com, and tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time, we're giving these away. We've got a Jawaan Taylor. Look, and I know a lot of people's making the joke, put it on a flag, put it on a flag. Yeah, we already talked about that. We didn't have a penalty flag for him to sign. He signed a pylon. Get over it.
He had a game-used pylon. That's
like, look, you got a game-used pylon with Jawaan Taylor on it. Somebody out there has to like Jawaan Taylor. And then we've got a commemorative ticket, an acrylic ticket, Steve, with Nick Allegretti, 3-time Super Bowl champion right there from the Week 11.
You kind of miss Nick Allegretti a little bit, right?
Right. But that's a pretty sick, like, that's an acrylic ticket, actually.
Hey, if you like the big guys, if you like the O-line there, you can win some stuff. And, hey, Jawaan Taylor's taking one for the team today, getting restructured. Maybe we can bring.
That's what I said. He had a week with no penalties, and he took a restructure. I mean, he got money today. He didn't really take nothing for the team.
His career.
He took money from the team.
He took it. Brett Veach didn't willingly give it. He stole it. But yeah, man, I don't know. Y'all put in the chat what you guys want to happen with the whole big ball and $5 million in cap space we got now. That's something else to keep in mind. But just put it in the chat. Let us know what you would want to do with that, whether you just sit on it and have it there just in case, or if you want them to get a cornerback, an edge rusher, another receiver. What sounds good to you guys? Put it in the chat. I'd like to get a
So did trading for D-Hop? Did trading for D-Hop and giving up maybe, I don't remember what it was off the cap, like somewhere between 2.5 to 4, somewhere in that range.
It was, I think it's around 4.
So you had to give that up. Now you've had to restructure Jawaan Taylor. You've got about 5 more on the cap right now. Did this essentially give up that Brett Veach is not going to pull any more restructures for players like Nick Bolton, Trey Smith? Are all those out the window now to the end of the season? Or is there still a chance that we could do that?
Honestly, I think they'll probably wait till after the season.
Do you think, are they doing this performance-based? Are they seeing how Nick Bolton goes all year long. A lot of people don't want to pay Nick Bolton top dollar money. They think that position can be replaced
I don't
pretty
think
easily.
Nick Bolton's gonna ask for top dollar money.
Nick Bolton's a good guy. I don't see he does. Do you think anybody would pay him top? Well, they're saying that $75 million for 4 years is too much, which was his projected
contract. He
contract.
deserves a good contract, and I don't think he's going to get ripped off. But at the same time, I think that he would be willing to be a lifelong Chief.
I honestly believe middle linebacker and guard are replaceable positions.
They are, and
pretty
especially
easily.
the guard position. But at the same time, like Trey Smith, he's kind of come in here and become a staple, right? Like, people love Trey Smith. He brings that intensity to the offensive line. He's got a good personality. Everybody loves him, so everybody wants to keep him. And it's a guard. We can replace it fairly easy. We've even drafted some guys in the last year or two that could replace him. But if you can get it done,
people gonna hate Brett Veach
right?
if Trey Smith walks? If he don't get it done, are people gonna really hate Brett Veach? Every time Brett Veach does anything, everybody's wanting to fire him. It's like the dude's got 3 Super Bowls here in 5 years.
I don't know. I think Brett Veach gets more grace than a lot of people do.
There's a subset of Chiefs Kingdom that will, but there's also a subset that you can never
Trust
please.
Veach. And Veach we trust.
But look at all the people you can't please. Like, look at the ones that just hate DeAndre Hopkins, and that was so stupid. And
man, here's the thing about DeAndre
that was a bad
Hopkins.
trade, horrible trade.
Everybody's so, some people are upset about DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, well, they cheaped out. They didn't get a good receiver. They got an old, crappy one. He's washed up. I didn't even know he still played in the NFL. Well, I'm just going to throw this out there.
Yeah, because
Mike,
Mike,
I need a new set of headphones. Say you need a new set of headphones, right? What would you do if you were offered, like a 3-4-year-old set of Bose headphones, or you could go get some brand new ones from Walmart, like not a top brand, but just like a Walmart brand, but they're brand new. Which one are you taking? I mean, you're going to take the one that's going to perform best. I'm sorry, but DeAndre Hopkins is going to perform more than some Darius Slayton. Like, I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Like, so I mean, that's where I'm at. That's the way I see it. Like, yeah, he's a little older. Like, I get it. He's nursing an injury. I get that too. But this guy's a needle mover. This guy's a guy that's one of the best receivers to ever play in the National Football League. It's not like you're just getting some old guy. I get it, but you don't need him for the future. You need him for now. Like, he's 32. He's not 42. He's got another year left in him. As long as that knee holds up, baby, I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I think he's good. Did Cooper Kupp's performance last night kind of dampen anything for you? Like, hey, man, I guess we should have went and got Cooper Kupp. He had a pretty solid night last night. 5 catches, 51 yards, a touchdown.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp's good. We know that. It's just, can Cooper Kupp play? Everybody knows that.
I think it's funny, though. Like, even hearing that, it's like 5 catches for 51 yards and a touchdown. It's not that great. It was just on, like, their game versus Detroit. He had freaking 14 catches for 110 yards. So it's funny how everybody's bragging about his game last night like it was something special. I'm like, he had 50 yards. Like, that's nothing for Cooper Kupp. He wakes up in the morning and gets 50 yards.
He's like the Ben Simmons of the NFL. It's like, he's good at what he does, but he just refuses to ever play. Like, something's wrong with him.
He's going to take that week off.
Like, hey, man, he's pulling the Kadarius Toney, like, man, my toe hurts.
He even made a joke on himself yesterday, talking about how ugly he was. He's like, dude, I'm ugly.
Did he finally admit it?
He admitted it.
Hey, I've been calling that for weeks, right? Maybe he watched the podcast and he was like, you know what? This ugly guy, he knows ugly. So I guess I'm ugly.
Ugg knows Ugg, baby.
We stick together. Bump it, Cooper Kupp. But yeah, man, I didn't see a whole lot of people said in the chat what they would like to do. I haven't seen anything crazy. I've seen some Deontay Johnson stuff. We got a 5-bomb from Roulette King. What's up, brother? He says Veach is out there busting balls right now. I have to give it to him. He may surprise you and get a left tackle. That's also a possibility. That's something we didn't bring up. But, I mean, that's another spot on the roster that people have been calling for.
What's a left tackle you could feed? Like you said, trade for one, pull one off the...
They finally get Bakhtiari's tits off the couch.
Bakhtiari's.
Did he put down the PlayStation controller? Is he doing some push-ups?
Well, you got Charles
trying to get ready.
I don't know if there's anything out there.
Right. I don't either.
But I don't know who you could trade. Who could you trade? I don't know who you could even trade for, to be honest.
But to me, it's no different than like the cornerback thing. Like, what cornerback you going to trade for? Like, it's like if you're gonna go look for one, you're gonna look for one, I guess. But I mean, I think Veach has been working the phones. I think that he is looking to do something else. I don't think that the timing of the Jawaan Taylor restructure is just out of the blue, because we've been talking about that for a year now.
Did they just decide to do? Look, we said if you're going to make a trade, watch for a Jawaan Taylor restructure. We've been saying that for 2 weeks. It happened. But do you think the trade came first, then the Jawaan Taylor restructure, or do you think that?
I mean, they were.
Or do you think that they did it and now they're restructuring for something else, or do you think that's just a response to the trade? It just happened.
They had
reverse.
about $5 million cap as it was, right? And then they got D Hop, who's going to take about $4 to $5 million of that cap space. So yeah, it very well could be just like, hey, let's put us back to where we were, just in case.
Right. So I'm saying, yeah.
But
so
what's
I'm
the
saying
point?
The move.
What's the point? Like, if the trade deadline's in 2 weeks, or not even that, whatever. Like, why have the extra cap space? Just cap it out.
You have to possibly, if you have to go sign somebody or something, you got to have a little bit of wiggle room, right?
I guess so. I guess you're right, Michael. Appreciate the 5, Roulette King. Horned up with the 5 bomb, says D-Hop doesn't have to be stellar, just someone for Pat Mahomes to use. That's 100%, man, and that's the thing about it. Like I said, I know he's older, but I mean, if you go back and look at this guy's career, he's one of the best to ever do it. The only sign he's really showed of slowing down was the fact that he took a contract with Tennessee and tried to retire on everybody, right? So you can't really look at it. He put up 1,000 yards with those turds last year. Think about that. This guy put up over 1,000 yards with the freaking Tennessee Titans last year. And we're talking about, what are we talking about?
I think honestly,
like, he is by far and away the best receiver on our team right now. I don't care if he's 40.
I think the big thing that if DeAndre Hopkins succeeds here or not, it's how much will he succeed? Is he going to be a guy that gets 300 yards and 3 touchdowns by the end of the year, or is he a guy that's going to get 700 yards and 7 touchdowns? What's it going to be? He could be at the low end, he could be at the high end, he could be in the middle. But I think that all goes to how quick him and Mahomes can get on the same page. Because all he's going to be asked to do is eat up his zone. That's pretty much what he's going to do. He's going to be just like Rashee Rice, and he's just going to have to learn how to sit down in the zone and chunk off some yardage.
I'm pretty sure 10-year plus vet that's literally had over 1,000 yards receiving every year of his career, besides like 1 or 2 where he was injured. Like, he knows how to find a soft spot in the zone. He also is going to catch pretty much anything that you throw to him, whether it's contested or not. His hands are literally like this big.
They're huge, man.
They're just gigantic. The dude is going to catch the ball. That's what he's known for. He's always been that way. And for a fan base that has just had PTSD and absolutely sick at their stomachs about dropped passes, don't you want somebody like that that's a freaking vacuum cleaner? Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's the thing about it. I think people got to quit looking at DeAndre Hopkins as like the future, because that's not what that move is. Absolutely not. It does not matter that he's 32, because we only got him for this year, maybe next, if he wants to play.
Yeah, I think you could look at D-Hop, because everybody's just saying it's for this year, but I honestly think at 33, he's not just going to fall off the face of the earth. So I think maybe you could get another good year out of him next year, and maybe, dampen that Rashee Rice return / suspension, if that happens. Right. So
appreciate the 5, horned up. Julia Gulia says, how did Veach create cap space? Anybody? Wake up, Julia. It's time to wake up. He restructured Jawaan Taylor. So we got about $5 million.
Julia, put down the weed.
Yeah.
And listen to me. Restructure. No, she's probably just in amazement. He keeps finding ways to do it, Steve.
I guess. I mean, there's always a way, right? So, I mean, that's one thing Brett Veach is always good at, is keeping his options open, being able to tweak things here and there. So, no surprises. And we knew that was going to be the target, right? So, no surprises. Okay, if they were to go get a receiver, though, because that's what a lot of people are talking about. Get another receiver. I keep seeing in the chat, oh, there's a fire sale in Cleveland, someone said. Go get Judy. Go get Elijah Moore. Like, there are options out there. But, like, think about this for a second. Let's just say they were to go get Deontay Johnson. Everybody wants, right?
Yes.
You have Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, Deontay Johnson as your top 3 receivers. Okay. I think Hollywood is going to try to be here next season. I think they want to see how that would work because I feel like this year they were excited about it and then it just got pooped on. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if they don't figure out something for him next year. They also have Juju, who's going to be back from that hamstring eventually. So, like, these are a lot of names we're throwing out here. Then Rashee Rice coming back next season. You have, like, a ridiculous... Like, if you add another one, like, you have so many ridiculously good receivers on one team. Like, think about that for a second. So, I mean, I don't know if they will go do that or if it's necessary at all. But I think they're kind of all in on the 3P. I think they're all in on this season without hindering long term. I don't think Brett Veach is going to sacrifice the entire dynasty and Patrick Mahomes' freaking career trying to just get the 3P. But I do think they are going to put their best foot forward on it. So could they? They might do it.
Yeah. There's a few guys that I could see Brett Veach maybe going out and trying to snag. And I never actually thought about this one, but I was just looking through some rosters because I was like, there's certain teams that the Chiefs, I think, can deal with more than others. So when you got Cleveland, for example, they've got Greg Newsome that's probably on the trading block. He's a 24-year-old corner, right? His contract might not work, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs don't maybe reach out about that. That's a corner. There's a tackle out of Jacksonville, Walker Little, that wouldn't be surprising. The kid that come out of Stanford. Do you remember Pops loved Walker Little coming out of Stanford? He wanted the Chiefs to take him so bad it wasn't funny. But that's a possible offensive tackle trading spot.
I actually like that one because if they got Walker Little, right, he could, change his last name, and it could also be hyphenated, which would fit right into the Brett Veach thing. Walker, Texas Ranger. Just the dash in the middle. So go get him. Go do it. No, but for real, I do remember that. He was a decent tackle coming out of college. So
I like the Walker Little idea. That's
Texas
a good
Ranger.
idea. To me, though, I think if the Chiefs go make a trade for anybody, it's the corner out of the
Newsome?
Patriots, Jonathan Jones.
Oh,
We've been talking
Jonathan
about him for a little while.
That could be it. Actually, Rave Game On says that in the chat. I see that right now. So, I mean, there's some things. Callie Cash with the 5 bomb says if Juju can have success in this offense, D-Hop damn sure can.
Yeah, that's
exactly
for sure.
right. That's exactly right. I mean, that's the thing. Like, Juju, he might not be 32, but his knee is. You know, like I don't know. Like, people can come here and succeed in an Andy Reid offense. And they don't even have to be one of the best to ever do it. But DeAndre Hopkins is. I think it's going to be just fine. Appreciate the 5, by the way, Callie. And then William Usher with 7 says Mahomes could win the Super Bowl with both of you at wide receiver if he has time to do it. Or if he had time to do it in 2022 and 23. The O-line is probably the hill that he'll die on. But D-Hop will be good also. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think Williams on to something? You think they're just like, hey, we went and got our receiver. Our defense is fine. They've been playing great. Yeah, one of the young corners have to step up, but we're still good. Let's protect Patrick and just get this thing done.
Possibly. I just don't think. I think Andy Reid has been very pleased with Wanye at left tackle, though. I don't think Wanye's done a lot to like. I mean, he's not been great. But you can't be great across the board at every position, though, can you? Like, you know,
but
you
left
got to have
tackle
your
is
lumps.
a position where you shouldn't have somebody that's
But
not great.
they accepted this.
I know.
When they
They've been
drafted
doing it.
one and said, hey, these are the two we're going to roll with.
They've been doing it. They've been doing it for years. They've been plugging right tackles over there. Just whatever they
I
can do.
do like the
you know?
Walker Little idea. I really do. I like that idea. He's in Jacksonville. Jacksonville stinks. Okay, go get him.
Appreciate the 7 Canadian, William Usher. And 5 bomb from Rave Game On says, could you see them going for the Pats? Cornerback Jones. Yes, I saw where you'd said that earlier too. But appreciate the 5. Appreciate the support. Yeah, they've been talking about that one for a minute. So that's a good target too. And then I also like the Greg Newsome idea. Just somebody that young, that talented. I mean, if they're over there unloading people, then why not?
Yeah, I think Jonathan Jones, that's been brought up ever since camp, I believe. So it wouldn't be that bad. I think the Patriots are trying to get younger. They're probably trying to get rid of some stuff like that. Jonathan Jones is 31, so that would be another plus 30 guy. And it's like, is Brett Veach, like, is he really going to come out of his like personality and what he likes to do? Is he really going to do that many times? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Chad says O lineman would take 6 weeks to get up to speed with Andy's offense. That's another thing. It'd be an adjustment, right? And then also you got to get used to playing with Patrick.
But Walker Little plays for Doug Peterson and the Jaguars. That's pretty similar.
Mike, you better get off this Walker Little train.
I'm just trying to say that would be the guy, right?
No, for sure. No, I totally agree because it's a similar system. But like to his point, I think you also got to get used to playing with Patrick. Patrick takes a longer drop, like a further drop than anybody in the league. He holds the ball longer than everybody in the league. He plays the position a little bit differently, and sometimes it's very, very stressful on the tackles. So if you go back and look, we've been talking about our tackles ever since Patrick Mahomes started, right? Like the last one I think did a really good job was probably Fish. And it's like, he don't put his tackles in the greatest position. Like they have to work extra. And I think that's why the young guys are having trouble adjusting. But yeah, that's something that they would walk into for sure.
It's a tangible stat. Patrick Mahomes he's attributed to 26% of his sacks and pressures this year. Pressures, not sacks. 26% of his pressures, he has been involved himself in. He is involved in it, which that is a tangible stat that has been recorded by ESPN.
1 in 4
Gen.
is a pretty good chunk too.
Yeah, so Next Gen says that he is to blame for a fourth of his pressures. Not solely, but he's in on it. So a tackle gets beat, he goes to that side without thinking, blah, blah, blah. It's something there. A lot of people get so mad about that. Like, you can't talk ill about Patrick Mahomes in the slightest. It's like...
That's not even talking ill.
It's not talking ill about him. It's just telling the truth.
Right? Like, it is what it is. Chiefs fan says after Pat's truck of Mustafa, they signed him up to play left tackle and right tackle for himself now. So they just put the dad bod over there.
No, but you know what? Linebacker. Maybe that's why
we did see Patrick Mahomes and Carson Wentz on the field at the same time last week. So maybe he just starts playing left tackle for Carson Wentz.
Possibly.
Watch out.
Maybe
Prince Harry's going to come out and light it up.
Maybe you don't need Deontay Johnson. Maybe Mahomes will do it. And then Carson Wentz could be the quarterback. Who knows?
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm down.
Hey, K. Wayne says, Mike, I hope you shake that cold. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a cold. I don't know if it's allergies. I'm assuming it's allergies. It's probably turned into a cold. It's been with me for 8 days. I can't get rid of it. Kentucky sucks when it comes to allergies. It's like one of the worst.
Yeah, it does.
I can't get over it.
It also sucks because it's 82 degrees in late October.
Like, pollen count is at an all-time high today. Like, what? It's almost Halloween, and we're talking about pollen, bro? Come on.
Mike Rubin says you can talk about Pat, but short leash. Short leash. No, we can talk about factual stuff. I'm not going to sit out here and critique Mahomes.
You can't really, because if I sometimes post factual things about Patrick Mahomes, people still say I'm stupid and block me. It cracks me up.
Hey, man, it's okay. It's okay to be sensitive about Patrick, too, because, I mean, he saved the franchise, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, we can all acknowledge Patrick's awesome. He's the greatest to ever play.
He's the greatest.
He's the greatest. But there's certain things that he doesn't do just properly, and he will even tell you that. So it's funny. I don't know.
He's a little unorthodox, but that's what makes him great, right? Jay Wilson with the 5 bombs says, what about Xavier Howard? So I've seen this come up a lot. A lot of people were talking about this before the season started. Like, hey, we need a veteran because we lost Snead. Obviously, Jalen Watson came in and absolutely killed it up until his injury. But what do you think about Xavier Howard? I mean, he's an older guy. This would kind of be like the equivalent of the D-Hop trade, right? Like, of course, Xavier Howard, I think, is a free agent still. No one ever
he's 31. He's still on the free agent market.
He might be babysitting his grandkids or something right now. I don't know if he could play in the NFL, but no, just kidding. But that would be one to look at, I suppose. But it would kind of be like the same effect of the D-Hop thing, where it's like an older guy, but he was very, very good, and he knows how to play the game. And I think there's a little bit of juice left in the tank. If you're only using them for the rest of the year, then sure. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it's not a long-term thing. But I don't think you need a long-term thing at cornerback. I feel like cornerback is a position where you really could just use a guy for the rest of the year. But does that always work out great, though?
Steve, Xavier Howard is not getting signed. Like, I didn't even know this happened, but I just found a story about Xavier Howard.
What do you do?
This is why this guy's not in the league,
What do
ladies
you
and gentlemen.
do?
ESPN reported all the way back on June 7th, former Dolphins star quarterback Xavier Howard sent a male teenager sexually explicit photographs of the teen's mother because she refused to get an abortion. What?
It's not real.
This is real. This is reported by ESPN. It says he secretly recorded them having sex and shared the recording with her son.
Xavier Howard's a terrible human being.
This has to be, I mean, look, it's got to go to court. It's got to be proven. But charges like this are why this guy's not getting picked up in the offseason here. So I think we may have figured out. And look, so you guys know I'm not lying. I'm gonna take the thing, the link, and I'm gonna post it in the chat. The link. You guys can go check it out if you want in the chat.
All right. Xavier Howard's out.
Yeah, it looks like Xavier Howard might be out.
He's a bit of a psychopath, I think. Is that the word? Appreciate the 5, though. Horned up with a 5 bomb says, I think Crushy has an ankle injury that could make him more manageable this Sunday.
An ankle injury that could make him more manageable this Sunday. Who's Crushy?
I don't
Am
know.
I lost?
I think
Horned up. I know you got
autocorrect. You got auto-corrected. Who would Crushy be?
Crosby?
That would be
Max
it.
Crosby.
I guarantee, yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, here he goes. Crosby, not crushingly. Phone typing sucks ass.
Yeah. Hey, Horned up, what are you crushing, baby? Horned up is crushing it out there. That's why his name's Horned up. Yeah, this whole Crosby Chiefs thing, look, Crosby's loud. He's always going to be there. We know that he tries to get in Mahomes' head. The Raiders stink, but at the same time, they're going to play with like a physicality. This is at Allegiant, right? It's there in Vegas, so I'm sure they don't want to be embarrassed yet again, but I don't think there's nothing they can do about it.
I saw. Did you talk about their cornerback? What's his name?
Which one?
The cornerback that was a total jerk to like the kid at Arrowhead.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't even remember his name. He's not important.
He's totally insignificant. But I saw like a clip from a presser with him earlier today, and they were like, "What are you guys going to do to match what the Chiefs are going to bring? Because they're going to bring a little bit extra." And he was just like, "Oh, we ain't worried about that. Nobody's afraid of Mahomes in this locker room. He's just another good player in the NFL."
Yeah, they're stupid.
And then he went on to be like, "Yeah, we know. We remember the video, the Kermit video and stuff. So we know they're going to be trying to get back at us, but we're going to be even more intense than they
Look,
are."
they're dumb. But yeah, to answer his question, I do believe that Crosby. I mean, Crosby will be in on some plays. You know he's going to be, but will Crosby completely be this unblockable guy that just causes havoc and we get beat? Probably not. I don't see the Chiefs losing this one. I honestly think that they should go out there and handle the Raiders.
Crosby's even still all the way there. Like, I think he's got a foot out the door. I think he's about done with the Raiders.
Well, he keeps acting like he's just, Raiders forever. But I feel like that's over-exaggeration.
I think that's just something that you have to do. You got to put on that face,
like when your girlfriend catches you, like, talking to some chicks, and then you're like, oh, man, now we got to post pictures of each other on Facebook to make it look good. Or just, I don't know. It's kind of that thing. Like, he's saving face. He's like, daggone. Now I got to act like I love the Raiders, bro. I got caught.
That's funny. 2-bomb from Reggie says, crazy idea. Give Cleveland a third for Myles Garrett. I think it would take a lot more than a third.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd give him up for a third, but at the same time, I mean, you see crazy stuff.
Yeah, but how do you pay him?
Yeah, you
can. You make Cleveland pay him?
That's a lot of, I don't know. How many teams are we going to take their players and make them pay it?
All of them.
Brett Veach is like, look, I'll Xavier Howard you.
Hey, maybe Xavier Howard does have a chance to actually come to Kansas City. Julia says that he has domestic violence issues.
Dude, apparently we opened a can of worms on Xavier Howard today.
Xavier Howard, you're a real piece, buddy.
He's fired up. And that might explain why he's not on any NFL roster.
Hey, Mike, I got to bring this up because this is great. Completely off subject. Oh, no, I clicked the wrong one after all that, all the overdramaticness. Roulette King says, I really tried the blue chew and I couldn't go to work the next morning.
Yes.
What is he? Were you knocking over stuff?
Dude, Roulette King, he was like, he just snorting that wiener dope, but he's just knocking stuff out. Like, did you pass out? That's funny, man. That might be the best. That might be the best. They should get you. They should sponsor Roulette King for that one.
I couldn't even go to work the next morning.
That's a perfect. What's it called? Like a review of the product.
So horned up, a testimonial.
Yeah,
a
testimonial.
A testy. How about that? Because it's blue chew. But yeah, man. So appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We appreciate you. If you're a member, be on the lookout. We'll be doing an 8 o'clock Central Time members only live stream tonight, where we'll be giving away the signed Jawaan Taylor pylon and a Nick Allegretti signed Super Bowl ticket. So you want to do that. You want to get in on that action, see if you can win that. If you're not a member, you can become one right now. Just hit the join button. It's $5 a month. But you'll get some perks. You get the emojis. You get all the fun stuff. And you can be on the members only live stream tonight and maybe win some of the stuff. So do it to it. Mike, what do you want them to do? I said I think they might as well just go all in and go get Deontay Johnson and say, screw it. Let's put up 30 plus a game. What do you think they should do? You going with Zadarius Smith or something?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if Zadarius Smith. I just don't know. I don't know if anybody is that. Does Zadarius Smith kind of give you a feeling like the time we went out and signed Terrell Suggs? Like at the end of the season, right? Remember that?
I mean, that's fine. We've been doing that, though.
That's what I'm saying. But
what was the big dude's name that played at Cincinnati? We had him, the tall defensive end.
What are you talking
about? We had Terrell Suggs, right? And then the year or two after that, they went and got I can't think of his name. His defensive end from Cleveland, or not Cleveland. I'm sorry, Cincinnati.
Oh, the Bengals?
Yes.
I don't remember.
You're not helping me.
I don't remember.
He's got the restaurant up here in Covington.
Oh, you're talking about Carlos Dunlap.
Yeah, Carlos Dunlap. They tend to do that. They'll go grab an aging, older, good, someone that can contribute.
Right, but isn't Zadarius Smith a little bit more pricey than that?
Yes, absolutely. It's different. It's different. It's not like he's at the end of his career.
Yeah, because like I was going to say, Terrell Suggs was a guy that come in, but I mean, did he really do all that much? I don't even know what he did. He may have had one sack in 8 games or something. I don't even know how many he actually played. I have to look that one up. Somebody look that up. Ian?
Look it up. Justin Flanders with the gifted membership. Appreciate you, Justin. If you get that membership, make sure to thank him in the chat, because you can come to the members only live stream later and maybe win some stuff. So shout out, Justin. Thanks for the support, brother.
Oh, wait. He only played 2 games with the Chiefs. Okay. See, memory's bad, man. When you start getting older, bad.
Who?
Terrell Suggs. He played 2 games.
It was just at the end of the season.
Yeah, he did have 1 sack in 2 games, though, and he had 2 QB hits. So
But that wasn't counting the playoff run. That's 2 regular season games plus.
he was saving it up.
No, he did okay. I mean, he did his part.
Let me see what he did in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he played in 3 games. He had 0 sacks, 4 assists, and 2 QB hits. So, I mean, he kind of went downhill quick. Whatever.
Well,
I'm saying Zadarius Smith will be better than Terrell Suggs, probably.
All right,
we'll put it that way.
So we can all have our wish list of what we want them to do with the whole big $5 million we have in cap space and all that good stuff, right, in the next 2 weeks. But let's move to a different subject for just a minute before we get out of here today.
Oh, jeez.
Do you think that Skyy Moore has played his last snap as a Chief?
It looks like it. It really does. This oblique injury.
Did he 100% squander every opportunity they gave?
It just came out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, I think so. And looking back on it, he was overdrafted. He shouldn't have been a second-round pick, but is that Skyy Moore's fault? Right. You can't help where you're drafted.
It's kind of like Clyde getting drafted in the first round.
Well,
right?
it's like being born. You can't help who your parents are. You can't choose where you're born. You can't choose what country you're born into. He could not choose that he was going to go to the Chiefs unless he just tanked the draft interview on purpose. So the Chiefs took him too early. Brett Veach did what he did. I just think the Chiefs his rookie season didn't look that horrible. going back and looking at it. Like, was it a great? No, but it was decent, and you thought he should have built off of it. I just feel like he never really understood the process well. I don't feel like he ever really did what Coach Reed wanted him to do. And at the same time, I feel like there's a little bit of blame placed on the coaching staff that they just did not put him in the right situations a lot.
Absolutely.
I just don't think it was a good fit. I think it was a forced fit that Brett Veach and them just didn't want to give up on. And they've come to the realization that, look, I think it's just got to be. Now, could he come back in 4 to 5 weeks and be back? Yeah, 100%, because he still blocks well. He lines up in the right spot. He eats snaps. So, depending on a few injuries here and there after his 4-week IR, I mean, he could come back for a playoff run if you have to put him on there. So, I don't know if I'd say they're completely done, but I think the days of him ever thinking he's going to be a contributor here are over.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think a lot of things went into that. Like you said, he was overdrafted. Dave Tobe crushed his confidence. The fans put him in the coffin, and that's been it for him.
The funny thing is, though, the season that even Dave Tobe, his rookie year, when he crushed his confidence, that was Skyy Moore's best season by far.
Right, but you have to think, that was his best season. He still got just ran into the ground by Chiefs Kingdom. Think about that.
Like, look, his rookie season, he played 16 games. He only had 33 targets, but he caught 22 balls for 250 yards. I mean, not great, but when you watch some of those highlights, he was still doing things like he was catching the ball. He was making contested catches. He was catching it in traffic. He was creating after the catch. Like, there was just certain things he was doing, and he didn't do it anymore, right? Like his sophomore year, he kind of maintained. He went from 250 to 244, and then this year he just fell off. I don't know. It was just a miss all around.
Yeah. Chiefsaholic Prodigy with the 5 bomb. Appreciate you, my man. Thanks for the support. He says, y'all some dogs. Let's go.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate that. What's the damage on the cap space if they cut him? I don't think it's much. I don't think it's much of anything.
I don't think it's much of that, but I don't know if they'll cut him.
Yeah. I don't think it's much of anything. But, yeah, go ahead and look at it. And once again, appreciate the 5, Chiefsaholic Prodigy. Like the name, by the way.
He's taken up $1.76 million in cap this year, which seems like a lot, but he's got a dead value cap hit of almost $1 million. So to keep him on the roster, they're only paying $700,000 to keep him on there. So I mean, that's like paying a practice squad player, just to have somebody that, like, if you have to depend on him, I think they depend on him, which is weird because Chiefs Kingdom would fight you. They would rather, a guy off the street here, like the homeless guy up here off Main Street. They would rather put him in for $700,000, but I think the Chiefs just see it as, hey, it's $700,000, like it's cheap. We'll just keep him on. But I do think the whole IR thing, I think that injury's bogus. Right? We never heard of Skyy Moore with no stupid oblique. If you look, the Chiefs just released a thing that morning. It was a TikTok video or something they shot, and Skyy Moore's walking through the facility just like happy-go-lucky, and then all of a sudden, like in an hour, they're like, oh, he's got an oblique injury. Like, he looked pretty good to have an oblique injury an hour ago.
Well, Brent made a point. He's quietly injury prone. Hand injury his rookie year, knee injury sophomore year. Now this injury, Skyy's quietly injury prone. Do you think that could be a factor too? He's never just been able to get into a rhythm anyway because he's just hurt here and there, and then
he was injured his
all the other
rookie season during camp.
Yeah, it's a hamstring.
He was dealing with a hammy the whole entire camp. So he is kind of injury prone.
Yeah, Big Chief says, y'all are wrong a lot, LOL. Y'all got to learn how to disagree. I told y'all about Skyy, and y'all said we were slap nuts. Now I'm saying we need a corner. Well, Big Chief, let me tell you something. We're right more than we're wrong, but you ain't going to talk about that. Like, we might have been wrong about Skyy Moore or Joshua Williams being the cornerback. That's 2 things I can think of. But we told you half of who they were going to draft, but you never came to tell us a good job on that.
That's true.
Come on, Big Chief.
But I will say this.
Don't be a hater.
Everybody was just hating on Skyy. It's easy. Is it easy to gang up on Skyy Moore? Like, that was just an easy talking point.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with Clyde. Like, how everybody just jumped on the bandwagon all of a sudden was like, we hate him.
That's what I'm saying. But, like, for example, like, even Jason Dunn to this day, this dude actually played in the league, and he still backs Skyy Moore. I mean, I'm not going to go that far, but I think that
we gave up.
I think at some point, you have to give people a little bit of grace to at least prove it. And I was willing to give Skyy 3 years. I mean, if you can't give a guy 3 years in the league anymore, what are we doing? Like, it takes some people a little bit longer to develop. And look, he got his chances this year, and he stunk. And now I'm off of it. I give him his shot, and he's out.
You know who's towing that line right now, don't you? Felix Anudike Uzama. Everybody's already ready to give on him.
The funny thing is, though, is like the Chiefs think Felix is like progressing well. I'm yet to really see it. I mean, he looks a little better than he did last year, but I mean, what did he do last year? I mean, how hard is that? I mean, you know what I mean? How easy is it to get better for what you did last year when you didn't do anything? It's like, what do you do? Show up?
Just show up, bro.
Look, the first year you show up to practice. The second year, you just got to get your jersey on front, like because you put it on backwards a few times last year. Progress. Yeah, look, I'm not gonna say like we're wrong about stuff. Everybody's wrong about stuff. Go show me any sports person in sports that's right about everything.
Skip Bayless.
Can you name one? Skip Bayless is wrong about 99.9% of stuff, and he's the biggest paid guy in the thing. Like, people don't care if you're right or wrong.
That's because he's right all the time. He literally takes the bad take just to get an engagement. Like, he knows what's wrong.
Right.
Little twerp. He's the goofiest looking little dude ever, and he's played you all for 20 years.
Who, Skip?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, Skip don't have a clue. For one, he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. Like, can you really say you know football and you're a Dallas Cowboys fan?
Or does he?
Is he really a Dallas fan, or is he just doing that because that's the most popular team in America? Dude, we may have figured out Skip is just
watch him.
There's a lot of Skips out there though. Just go with the way the breeze blows, huh? Well, there's Chiefs content creators that do that. It's like, what's popular on X today with the fans? I'm gonna go with that as my opinion. That's not easy.
Let me write that down.
Hard.
Let me write that down.
Yeah, it's not hard.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. We're going to roll out. We're going to be on members only live stream later tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time. So be on the lookout for that. I'll go ahead and get that posted when we get off of here. That way you guys can mark that down. Be there. Have some fun. Going to give away a signed Jawaan Taylor pylon. The first week he's had without a penalty. He also restructured, took one for the team, give a little more cap space. So we're going to commemorate that with the signed Jawaan Taylor pylon and a signed Super Bowl ticket from Nick Allegretti. What do you got, Mike?
Oh, Justin just said, I don't remember you guys ever backing Skyy Moore. You just said it how it was, that Veach wasn't going to move on from him because he was a second-round pick.
That was us backing him, according to the people that hated him.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, just by us saying he was going to make the team and not shitting on him over and over again.
Hey, guess what? We were right. He did make the team, didn't he?
But we said that about Clyde, too. Remember last year when people weren't to get rid of him? We were like, that's not going to happen. But then people's like, why are you Clyde homers? And it's like, I don't have a Clyde jersey and I got a shrine to him. I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
All right. Mike, did you get Richie's poster sent out?
Yeah, I've got everything out, I think. Okay. The only thing I don't have out are anything that was won on the last live because I had to get new poster tubes.
All right, cool.
But apparently that's supposed to be in soon, so we'll see.
All right. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. Also, just want to shout out FOCO. You could get over there to foco.com, and they have this little DeAndre Hopkins bobblehead.
Yeah, be sure to use our link in the description, though. That link will appear in the description.
Yeah, click that. Go over there. Get one of those bobbleheads. They're only making 96 of them. It's going to be like the first DeAndre Hopkins Chiefs bobblehead. So if you collect that kind of thing, go over there and get one. But yeah, Mike, that'd be it. You got anything left?
I don't, man. It's wild. I don't know what the Chiefs are going to do. Either way, we'll talk about it a little bit more tonight. So become a member. You got a little bit of time. I think like 6 hours. We're going to be back on here doing a members only. We're going to give away some stuff. So we'll see you guys then, I guess.
For the thousands here in attendance tonight and for the millions watching at home on TV. Oh, let's get ready to suck it!
There goes a sight from my soul.